it listed all these bad people, the people that were murdered. They were running to escape, and they went in this, hundreds of them, went in this cave with David. Normally, peer pressure and the bad crowd will bring one man down. But David's anointing was so strong that later the Bible called these guys David's mighty men. See, you got to build yourself up. You got to be able to change people. This young man, he's been traveling with me since what? Probably 18 years old, going on about 10 mission trips with me. Finally, I've got him in a pair of cowboy boots. Come on, somebody give God praise. Oh, I like to mess with him. He is so fun. I mean, how old are you now? 33. 25th of this month, I turned 59. I want to give today's sermon a title. I'm going to call it Floating Head. I know it sounds like a punk rock group, doesn't it? Floating Head. But you'll catch where I'm coming from here. You know that I travel. That's all I do now is travel. And I was getting ready to go to Pakistan this year. And I was out in my hot tub, and I was praying and seeking the Lord. And as I got out, I was planning in my mind. My mind is now thinking, okay, go to the office. You got to do this. You got to do that. And as I'm shutting the lid on the hot tub, I really felt the Spirit of God spoke to me and said, I'll meet you in Israel. Now, if you've been here for a lot of years, you probably heard me tell a lot of stories where I would feel the Lord would tell me, get up and go to this intersection. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's going to be this hippie Volkswagen bus that's all painted up and love, peace, and stuff all over it. You're going to lead these people to Jesus, and they're going to go lead people all over the world. And I'd be standing there 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'd be like, Lord, where's this van at? And then he'd speak and say, it wasn't me, Brian. And many times when you're believing for something, and as you're growing in the Lord, you've got to learn to hear the voice of the Lord. Many people, because they would have some failures, and it'd be their soul, or maybe just a deceiving spirit, because there are spirits out there. If there's a God, there's a devil. And there's deceiving spirits out there. It's no marvel that Satan manifests as an angel of light. And so that way you'll maybe lose your faith to try to hear from God as far as him speak to your spirit. But I just went, oh well, laughed it off, went home and said, we'll try it again. So now, after all these years of serving the Lord, he speaks to me and says, I'll meet you in Israel. Well, to go to Israel, you got to buy a ticket. Okay? You've got to have a place to stay, get a rental car, or use some kind of travel system once you get there. So I just don't want to just jump on a plane and go over there and spend this money, because I'm not employed by the church. The church doesn't give me a check. And when I'm traveling and going on these mission trips, these people in these churches don't give me a check. Just like Pakistan, every church I went to was close to Christmas time. I gave them an offering so that their pastors could buy their kids and wife something for Christmas. So it's like I was paying them to preach, and I was telling the Lord, I said, your math is not like the math I took in school. I mean, it's even different than Common Core math, I'm telling you. Oh, my. So when he spoke to me and says, like me. So I'm really seeking the Lord, and he says, I'll meet you in Israel. I said, okay, I'll cancel my trip to Pakistan. Is that what you want me to do? I'd already bought the ticket. Everything was planned. I'd paid for the security guards, the van driver. And I thought, I'll take a loss, Lord, if you tell me to. And he didn't speak, so I went ahead and went on the trip. We had a powerful trip. One place, 6 deaf mutes heard and spoke. A man hadn't walked in 6 months. I said, I'm going to try a Bible thing. I read this in the Bible. Get up and walk. He got up and walked. I'm like, that's really cool. But, of course, I just act like this is how I roll, you know. But inside I was like, ah! You got to learn how to look good, you know, when you're freaking out. You might be freaking, but you still got to look good. We saw hundreds saved, hundreds healed. Because I guess that's how he rolls. Amen. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Have you seen all these things on Facebook where they put a picture up and 10 years later? I like someone put up there, Jesus, 10 years ago, Jesus, same today, yesterday, and forever. Whoo! You know what? He's so cool, he probably doesn't even have gray hair. That's I mean, he's thousands of years old. No gray hair. But he didn't tell me to cancel my trip. So I came back and spent the holidays with my family. We had a beautiful Christmas, beautiful meals and all that good stuff. Going to the end of the year, I'm really seeking God. I want to see you. What do you want me to do about this Israel trip? So I started the first of the year fasting, and I just telling my wife, because she's my helpmate. For many years, I was confused and thought she's my hurtmate, because she's like killing me. We're getting older now, and the other day my wife said, I'm thinking about getting some plastic surgery. I said, honey, I'll do anything for you. So I cut up her credit cards. That was a joke, guys. Come on. I laughed harder when I read it than what you just did. But she's the best gift that God gave me. And I know she hears from God. So in my seeking, Lord, how do you want me to go to Israel? I talk with her and I say, this is what I'm believing. This is what I think I'm hearing. I really want you to pray with me about this. Because